Hey guys, I just woke up. You can maybe hear my voice. I was just gonna show you guys what I do to meal prep since I get asked this all the time on my stream. On Twitter, people wanna know how to lose weight, and it's really not that hard. I say like you don't have to eat as boring as me because like I don't really add seasoning or anything to what I eat. I might add like some hot sauce or that's Himalayan sea salt. Might add like a little bit of that to my foods, but I just basically want to show you guys like some of the ingredients that are pretty much always going to be good for you. I mean, you have like natural oats, egg whites, almond butter, which is actually better than peanut butter because it's peanut butter apparently digests faster than almond butter, which means it gets absorbed quicker, which you don't want if you're trying to lose weight. But hey, I mean, little things like that don't really matter that much, so don't worry about it. If you really don't like almond butter, um, then use peanut butter or whatever. This is just like unsweetened black tea. I got the Starbucks black coffee. You just add ice. It's basically like iced coffee. I actually like the the plain better than the vanilla, but this almond milk is just always gone from every store that I ever go to. I don't understand. And we got some organic eggs, which I usually use about 2 eggs and 250 grams of egg whites for like my for my breakfast with some oats, usually around like, I don't know. It really depends on if I'm going to work out like right after I eat or not. Because if I'm going to work out right after I eat breakfast, I'll probably do like 80 grams of oats, 60 grams of oats and a banana or something. Just because, you want all your, if you're going to eat carbs, eat them like around your workout. It's better for you than spinach, mixed salad stuff, carrots, um, tomatoes, my banana, and rice cakes, 2 chicken breasts, 2 sweet potatoes, which I'll weigh this stuff after it's done cooking because it will get all the water and stuff out. So you get more of a realistic value. Some people weigh it raw. I don't know. But then I see a lot of people say that it's better to weigh after cooked. I don't know. I just looked at the cooked weight online and kind of do it. Seems to work for me. I need my mushrooms. Here's my mushrooms. Okay. So I got my mushrooms. And one fell on the floor. Yeah. So this is my my main thing I wanted to say was when it comes to losing weight, if you've been eating shitty your whole life, use a food scale, okay? it's gonna make things so much easier for you to actually know how to use like how much you're eating. You don't have to use it for the rest of your life, but use it for at least 2 weeks, right? So then you put your oats in here, and let's say you just want like 40 grams. Well, now you actually got 40 grams. Like if you just take let's say 40 grams is half a cup. I think 60 grams is half a cup. But anyways, let's say it's like, say 40 grams is half a cup and you take half a cup, you could be off by like 10, 20 grams. You could be under by 10. You can be off by quite a bit when you don't use a food scale. Obviously, once you kind of get an idea after using it a lot, you'll be able to ballpark it a lot easier. But if you've never ate healthy in your entire life, you're gonna not know how much you're gonna eat. Like so many people eat like spaghetti and they just have like a giant like bowl of pasta, and you don't realize you're eating like 700 calories. Like pasta adds up really quick. So in my opinion, at least do this for 2 weeks. Now, I'm not saying you guys have to do everything I'm doing. I'm just showing you guys what I do. Like this is what I do. These are the things I eat. That's about the best thing I eat. when I'm cutting. It's like really boring, but I kind of used the logic that when I was fat, I ate whatever I wanted, and I shouldn't have. So I kind of used the logic that like I've already had everything I need. So now it's time to make up for all the shit I ate. Now, another thing I wanted to point out was when you guys are, if you're really overweight and you've been eating pizza and McDonald's, just fast food in general, you've been eating all this stuff for your whole life, right? And you switch to eating really unhealthy or really healthy, so you're gonna switch to eating like really, really, really healthy. Guess what? You're gonna feel like shit. I always thought this, but I didn't like know for a fact that it was true. I mean, I read about it. Like, there's something with like gut bacteria. Like, they feed on sugars. So when you cut out a lot of sugars, you feel bad because the bacteria wants it. Anyways, I'm not sure how true that is, but I do know that on my last bulk, I didn't eat pizza every day. I didn't eat burgers every day. I wasn't eating fast food, but what I was doing is I was eating like love carbs because I was feeling sick. Like, I'm trying to get like 600 plus grams of carbs in, and eating it in sweet potatoes and brown rice and eating salads and stuff, you just feel full all the time. Like, it's just so hard to eat that much food when you're eating like around 5,000 calories. It's just like, I'm a taller guy. If you go to the gym 6 or 7 days a week and do cardio, which I'm doing, is like your calories to gain weight go up a lot. And eating that in healthy food becomes really hard. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that for me, it was getting hard, so I started adding in like Ben & Jerry's, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like just easy carbs that just go straight through you. Like, you don't feel full after eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You eat a whole box, you don't feel full. You eat this fucking plain chicken breast and that sweet potato and a banana, and you feel full for a while, especially if you add in salads. I used to do a lot more broccoli, but honestly, broccoli is just so like much work to cook. Like, with a salad, you can just kind of throw this together. I think all the stuff's pre-washed. But with a salad, well, this bowl is just from my fridge because we don't have any bowls that are big enough for my salad. So usually what I'll do is like, I basically copied this kind of salad from Matt Ogus because I never used to add as much stuff. So I'll do like 80 grams of mushrooms, 50 grams of carrots, that's about right, 50 grams of these, little tomatoes. Apparently I'm not very good at doing this with one hand, so bear with me. But I guess my main point was, when you're gonna start eating healthy, if you go cold turkey off of like really bland food or off of really like processed foods, you're gonna feel really bad. And my point of bringing up my bulk was, since I was eating all this stuff, I wasn't even eating like the Pizza Hut every day or something. Like, did I order it every once in a while? Yeah, of course. But my main point is, you're going to feel bad for 2 weeks, maybe if you're lucky like a week. I don't know, I guess it depends on how much shit you eat. If you're overweight from eating like this kind of stuff, then yeah, it's going to be easier. You just cut your portion sizes down and you're fine. So yeah, this is basically like, I'll eat like 2 of these salads a day, and I think they're around like 80 calories each. It's such little calories for all this food. Like, this food is super high in like micronutrients, and you're gonna feel full after eating it. Like, look how much food it is, and it's all like no calories basically. So if you're a girl and you're like 5'1" and you're trying to lose weight, then maybe you need to count these calories more because your actual like maintenance calories is going to be like a lot lower than someone like me, or some taller guys, or just guys in general. Just guys in general can eat more than girls, so always take that into account. Also, the longer you've been working out, like if you're overweight and you've been working out and weight training and lifting and stuff, then yeah, it's going to be easier for you to lose weight. You're going to be able to work out harder than someone that's never worked out at all in their life. So my main thing is just stick with it for like 2 or 3 weeks. You're going to feel like shit, but just do it. And after the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll start feeling better. I mean, I'm not a scientist, so I'm not like saying this is like a fact, but I'm just saying that like I've done it multiple times and I know the feeling. So don't like think you're like dying or something, because it does feel pretty bad, and I know that. So I know it's easy to fail. A lot of people fail when they try to lose weight. The very first time or 2 times I try to lose weight, I failed too. It's pretty normal, I think. Now when you go with like macros and stuff, a lot of people say like one gram of protein for every pound of body weight, but if you're overweight and you're not very lean, I think like 0.8 times your body weight is fine. Since you're carrying a lot more fat, you don't really need all that protein, especially if you're new. I don't know. I don't think it's necessary, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. But you guys can do your own research on that. I usually stick around like right now, like 225 grams of protein with like 60, 70 grams of fat, and and then my modifier is usually carbs. So it just depends on how big of a deficit I am, right? So right now, going to the gym, doing cardio every day, and I walk to the gym, so it's like a 15-minute walk there and back, plus 30-40 minutes of cardio on the elliptical, because when I do a lot of strength training with like deadlifts and squats, doing the actual treadmill, it starts putting even more pressure on my lower back, so I don't really see the point of adding that. But yeah, so like this is like 250 grams of egg whites. Then I'll add these 2 whole eggs, but I can't break them with one hand. And then I'll put them on the pan and just like fry them up with 0-calorie spray. It's like really easy, man. Like this is pretty much all your meals for the day, like done in less than an hour. Like I don't think you guys realize like how easy it is to meal prep. I mean, if you have like no time in the morning, then it's a little bit different, but then do it before you go to bed. Just do this before you go to bed. It's not that hard. You just put this shit in the oven and put it for like an hour. I don't know how to use this actually. I don't know how to do the cook time. 1 hour, 30, whatever. I don't care, I'll remember. I never forget that kind of stuff. And then usually I would have Greek yogurt, 0% fat, that I would eat as like my snack meal with maybe like a banana or something, just because it's easy. Honestly, you don't have to, it's like literally like the easiest thing in the world. But yeah, usually, like I was saying, I'd usually do 225 protein, like 60 to 80 grams of fat, and then the rest carbs. For carbs, it just depends on like how much you're doing in the gym, right? So I think the formula is like 0.35 to 0.45 times your body weight for your fat that you want. So that everything is specific to you and how much you work out, right? So your fats and your protein should always stay the same, in my opinion, unless you're going to do some carb cycling stuff. But honestly, if you're new to losing weight, don't worry about that. You don't need that. You don't need all these fancy little tricks. A lot of little tricks that you see are for people that are trying to get under 10% body fat. Losing fat to 10% is pretty easy. Maybe some people might get stuck at like around like 10, 12, but I'm just saying, like, a lot of the stuff that you see people like saying to do, it's when people are trying to get under 10%, because it's like that's when your body's going to start holding on to fat and like fight you for it. But up until that point, your body's not going to fight you to keep fat. There's no reason for it to do that. So I don't know, I just stick with water and like black drinks, and you know, if you want to make it taste a little bit better, you can put some of like stuff like this in it. And that's basically all I eat. I have some almonds upstairs by my computer that I'll snack on if I'm feeling hungry or something like that, but I still calculate everything. And yeah, and then my carbs, like I said 100 times, they're just depending on what I do, like how much I'm going to the gym. So if right now I'm going to the gym like 6-7 days a week, cardio every day, probably need like at least 250 grams of carbs. Probably more, honestly, but I'm always one of those guys that tries to cut like more calories, because it's probably healthier to do like minus 500 calories per week and like a nice slow like 1 pound a week. But what I find is if you do that, you really can't screw up in the week. Like you really can't like go out and get pizza or something like that, because if you go and have like a huge cheat day, or you mess up one day, you're gonna ruin all your progress for the week. Whereas if you're at like more of like a big calorie deficit, like 1,000 or something, let's say you screw up and you eat a whole tub of ice cream, or you have a big pizza, like then your 2 pounds a week fat loss changes to 1, and at least you're still losing at that point, and you didn't ruin everything. This video is not super like scientific or anything. I just wanted to show you guys what I did, because a lot of people asked what I did. This is pretty much what I did originally losing weight. It's pretty much I probably eat more carbs now, honestly. Probably eat around 250-350 grams of carbs, where before I was probably eating like 100 or 150. So I feel like even when I'm cutting, I have more energy now, but I also work out more and harder than I could when I first started. And I just wanted to like I just wanted to say to people, like, if you're overweight and you're gonna start running or you're gonna start going to the gym, you're gonna suck. But it's like, all right, you just have to like do it. Like when I first started running, I literally would run for like 10 seconds, and then I was out of breath, and then I would walk until I had my breath back, and then I would run again, and I would just do that every other day. And it's not probably like the best way to start, but I mean, I didn't really know what I was doing. So I just wanted to like kind of let people know that like I went from running barely like 10 seconds, like not a sprint, like a jog, like literally I couldn't jog for like 10 seconds, to like eventually probably 8 months later I could run. I probably run like at a pretty decent pace for like an hour. Like my cardio at the end was like really good. But then obviously I got more into like weight training and stuff, and I started like bulking and cutting and stuff. But honestly, not to phrase this like badly, but you think that when you lose 100 pounds, you'll like be all of a sudden like super happy, but everything is like dependent on what you currently are. So if you used to be 100 pounds and now you're only 20 pounds overweight, you're still gonna feel like kind of bad. Like you'll feel better about yourself, but it's still not gonna be like finished. Like if you're like me and you have something in your mind, like you're never done until you like do that for some reason. And maybe this is just like me, because people say that I'm weird. When I want to do something, I just kind of like do it. But you're gonna lose all this weight, you're gonna have a little bit of loose skin, you're gonna not have abs unless you're just like, I don't know. Well, you're not gonna have good abs. I mean, I had abs before, but they're not like, there's like skinny dude abs. They don't really count. You have no muscle, anything like that. That's why I suggest weight training from the start, because what I did is I just ran my way to low weight. So, I mean, basically what happened was my body didn't really need to keep any of the muscle. So I think like I lost a lot of weight, but I lost a lot of like muscle and like other stuff too. So that's why like now I try to recommend people like just go to the gym. You don't have to go to the gym every day. Go to the gym like 3 days a week and strength train. Like I felt like I wasted so much time doing like a bro split or a push pulls aren't bad, but push pull legs aren't bad, but I don't think you can do it when you're first starting out, and that's what I do now. I actually really like that way, but I guess just do something strength orientated because you're weak. And I don't think people understand. They think like, oh, just because you do 8 to 12 reps, like you're gonna get like bigger muscles. Tell me that you've seen a dude benching 315 with a small chest. Like, unless the dude specifically trains to be under in a certain weight class, you're not going to be small and bench 315. You're not going to be small and deadlift 600 pounds. You're not going to be small and squat 400. So, in my opinion, unless you're juicing, just strength train for the first like 6 months. Like, yeah, you might look slightly better if you did like a shitload of calf raises and tricep extensions and like all these random like little things, but you don't need that. You want to build your base up for long term, because once you can get your bench, dead, and squat and overhead press up, then when you switch to more dumbbell oriented workouts, maybe you prefer them more, maybe you don't, I don't know. But once you switch to dumbbells, then your dumbbells, like maybe you're benching like 30-pound dumbbells. Well, I guarantee you, if you strength train, those 30-pound dumbbells will change to like, I mean, I don't know how fast you make progress, like 60, 80, 100. I don't know, depends on, like, I got long ass arms, right? So, I don't know, my bench sucks. But everything else is pretty good. My overhead press could probably be better too, but whatever. But yeah, this video was like kind of chaotic and stuff, but I just wanted to like, I just want people to know, like, you just have to put in a little bit of effort and you'll lose so much weight so easily. So just calculate your own macros. I'll link a video by Matt Ogus on the bottom, like on how to do them, because he'll do a much better job than I would. But people always wanted like what I do. So I know there's other people that are better in the fitness industry and stuff like that, that you can follow, that are more knowledgeable, but this is more just for something that I did. If you have any more questions, I can try to answer them in the comments and stuff. And I'll do a CS video, my next one. And, yeah. Also, everyone in the fitness industry is juicing. Everyone you see on YouTube is on something. Like, there's very few natty people on YouTube. So just take that into account. When you see these people that look like they got 3D printed out of a printer, like, they're not real humans. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's why if they make money off their physique, they're on something. They're on something. I don't care what it is. They're not... I don't know. You don't look like that. Like, you don't. I'm not saying there's no one. I don't want to call anyone out, but there's so many people that like think these physiques are possible that they will never achieve. I'm not saying you can't achieve like a really good natural physique. I'm just trying to be realistic that you can't expect to look like some of these people. Yeah. So be realistic. Make it a lifestyle change. And weigh your food. Trust me. It'll fucking help.